Hello and welcome to another lap time challenge. Today I am going to show you, or in this video I'm going to show you, a lap guide around a Suzuka circuit, and we are in Group 3 cars. Now this particular lap I was using the BMW M6 Sprint model, the 2016 one, since I believe that will be the best car for this combination due to the mid and high speed corners, which the M6 is very good on, especially on soft tyres. Anyway, I'm going to show you in the M6 the rev range, which is peak power is probably about 6.7k revs. So I shift a bit after 100%, probably a few flashes. You'll see on the lap how much I try to rev this thing anyway. But before I show you the detailed lap, I'm going to show you my fastest lap that I've just done, which was a 1:57.977. I believe there's probably going to be 4 or 5 tenths off this lap. So the world record will probably be 0.4 area, which would put the gold estimate around the 2:09s, 2 minute 1 dead. That's what I believe the gold threshold will be. Anyway, enjoy the lap and I'll show you how I did it after. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I did the 1:57.977 and how you can get the 2 million gold credits from this combination. Now, before we start the lap, let me just fast forward a bit. Before we start the lap, a key word I would say for this is flow. Now, the reason I say flow is because, especially the first and second sector, you need to carry a lot of speed without much oversteer and just keep it within the track limits. Well, say track limit, within the track itself, which is pretty difficult, I can imagine, for a lot of you. Which is why I would recommend doing multiple laps at first, just to get used to how your car and how the track goes, etc. Now, like I said, I'm using M6, but in other cars, I recommend the same. Just do multiple laps, get used to it. I would recommend, since it's soft tyres though, if you feel comfortable, to use an FR car, because they tend to be better on softer tyres, because they tend to reduce oversteer the softer tyres you go. And since the FR cars have less weight in the rear, they tend to oversteer more. So I think they'll be faster on this combination. Anyway, one more thing, I keep forgetting to mention it, but if you feel this helps, feel free to like and subscribe. You don't have to. It's just, it would help my channel. if I said it, because I keep forgetting to mention it and my likes have been a bit down compared to my earlier videos recently. Anyway, start the lap. I'm looking for about 51 mile an hour here, about 62 mile an hour here. Now, I will say, start the lap. You'll see me go as wide as possible just so I maximise the track distance to start the lap. So I carry as much speed as possible to start my lap. So I am minimising time already before I even start the lap. Like I said, I left this car quite a bit. In fact, you'll see, you see the red bar in the rev range, so about 6.6, 6.7k revs. I literally shift as my rev range hits the red. That is where I'm revving this car most of the time. Anyway, down to turn 1, you're going to be in 5th gear, and I'm going to say now, there is 2 ways to do this, in my opinion. Let me just go to the braking point. So you see the end of the tarmac, I brake a little bit after it. Probably just after this one as well, but I used this one and I just broke a bit after it, probably a couple tenths after it. Now, you're going to want to trail brake in about 40-50%, I would say. Maybe initially you want to go like 80-90% just to slow it down, but as you turn to the more deep part, as you get past the first part of the corner, sorry, you will then want to trail brake just so you don't understeer too wide and go on the AstroTurf. Now on this particular lap, I had a bit of oversteer and I was a bit deep, so I lost some time here. But anyway, I'm going to show you how I did it. So you'll see me brake about 80% and then start to brake more as I get around the corner, especially the first part. I'll pause here because you can hear the tyre squeal. That is where I oversteered, which is why I quickly downshifted and I put more braking pressure on just to try straighten up the car. And you'll see me just stay on track. Try to maximise the track width, obviously. Yeah. Now, again, I turned a bit late, obviously because I was correcting the car. But it doesn't matter if you go a bit deep in the first part because it gives you a wider angle to be on the throttle earlier. I was looking for about 76, 77 mile an hour here before I went on the throttle. Now, again, I'm in the M6, so I will say in the M6 at least, probably in the Lexus, GTR, those sort of cars, you want to be on the throttle as soon as possible because of the rear slip. If you go on the throttle, you actually get more rotation, so you can carry more speed. Anyway, zone 6, zone 10 mile an hour, you'll see me go about 80% throttle initially. Well, probably 60% initially, and then you'll see me towards the exit 80-90% just so I don't have too much oversteer on exit. And then obviously, when I feel like the car won't oversteer, I'll go back up to 100%. Next part, very hard to describe, but basically you want your left wheels to touch the curb here. Just a little brake, little lift. I don't think you need to brake. I just brake because I felt more comfortable doing it. Now, you want your car about halfway between the left and the right side of the track. I always prefer to have it more on the left, but I know most people have it towards the middle. But I keep it to the left just to open it up for the right part for me. Now, I think it's probably slightly so on having it in the middle. I just feel more comfortable doing that, which is why I did it. As it straightens out and the steering straightens out, you'll then want to do a tiny bit of braking, like literally 20% braking input, just so your car rotates and carries speed. I was looking for about, first part I was looking for about 102 mile an hour. And then for this corner here, you want your right wheels on the curb to maximise track width, obviously. And I was looking for about 89, 90 mile an hour before I went about 80% on throttle again, just because of the rear slip of this car. I actually went 100% throttle in this scenario, but most of the time, you want to be going 89% throttle, just to not have too much oversteer. But because I didn't turn too much, I could go 100% throttle. Next part, my turn input, where was it? I think it was when that was like halfway across my screen. It's when I started turning left. Yeah. And then you want about 94 and 95 mile an hour here. Again, I went about 90% throttle here, just to not have too much oversteer, especially when you go over this curb. As you saw, I actually went 100% throttle, but I kept it going between 100 and 80% and then back up to 100, just to keep it going straight. Next braking input, I broke just before the beginning of a curb, and you want to downshift to second, and you want to hug the curb if you can, or at least very close to it. You see, I did about 40% braking input there. Now you want to go back on the throttle as you get halfway around it. Again, because of the rear sub of this car, you can get away with going throttle early. And I was looking for about 78, 79 mile an hour here. A little bit of oversteer, but we corrected it. Next corner, I just turned to the left as soon as I got to the right. To be honest, you'll work out when you do a few laps on this. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just once I got in the flow of it, I had a good idea where to turn. If anything, I turned very slightly too early here. But you'll see me upshift to fourth in the middle of the corner. Well, you want to be looking for about 100 mile an hour in this corner from memory, maybe a bit more. And I upshifted to fourth because I just think it's faster. That's why I did it, to be honest. Bit wide on exit, but not too bad. Next corner, you see when the track starts to go a bit more left, I broke between that point and the 54. So I'll probably broke about 70 meters here. 65 meters would be my guess. Now again, you're going to want to trail brake because it's a very fast corner. You don't want to be fully in the brakes and then turn because you just won't have the turning input you need to carry the speed. I don't really know. I don't really remember how much speed I carried, but I think it was about 108 mile an hour. And I downshifted to third, just from the step angle, to be honest. And I felt more comfortable. Now, I will say, you'll see now I am going to be using a lot of this curve. Now, some cars you just won't be able to. Mostly MR cars. Like, for example, I don't think Ferrari can, I don't think the Lamborghini can, etc. But in the M6, you want to use as much of the curve as possible. And again, I was carrying about 108 mile an hour here. Try and get your left wheels on this green part if you can as well. Next braking input, you see these two darker lines on the right line. I broke at the second point here. You see, I'm about to tap the brakes now on this one here. That's the second one. You'll be wanting to downshift to second just to slow the car down and get it turned in. As I get towards the corner, you'll see me trail brake, and I was going about 72, 73 mile an hour here. And you want to be on the throttle as early as you can because the exit opens out a bit, and you can get away with going over the curb here. As long as you keep 2 tires on the curb, I think it is, you'll be alright. See, I got on the throttle very early. Probably the best S2 I did actually. Next corner, try hug onto the curb, and I brake a bit after the curb, so probably a good 5 meters after the end of the curb. You'll want to brake in a straight line, basically the whole time. Basically, I broke like towards the entry of the hairpin, but in a straight line. You won't see me turn much until I am at the corner, and I was carrying about 41 mile an hour, and I'll pause halfway through the corner. So I was looking for about 41 mile an hour, I believe. Now you want to. It doesn't matter if you hit the inside curb or you're just off it. I don't think it makes much difference on this corner, to be honest. Just don't go too deep. And you want to be careful of exit. Now, because of the way the gearing of his car is, I'm in second gear, so I could go 100% throttle really. But you have to be very careful with how much steering you are putting on the exit. You'll see, but I had an oversteer moment, and I very nearly went off the track here. In fact, I might have even touched the grass. I don't remember fully, looking back now, but just be careful with how much steering you put in while you're putting the throttle down. Like MR cars, for example, you'll probably be in first gear and you will be 100% throttle just because they have really good traction. M6 does, which is why I had a bit of a side here. Yeah, I'm moving on the grass here, so I definitely lost probably half a tenth there. Hug the inside, minimise the track distance. Now, I'll say before this next corner in the M6 at least. I think it's probably faster to shift up to fifth. I just felt like trying to stay in fourth on this particular lap, and this happened to be my fastest lap I did. Anyway, next braking input. You see the 100 board. I've just gone past it. You see this little asphalt bit, I broke at the beginning of it. You'll see now. Yeah. Now, because I hit the limiter, I actually broke a bit after it, but you won't start braking at the beginning of the spare road bit. Now, I was looking for about 92 mile an hour, and you want a 92 mile an hour apex speed, and you want to be trail braking as you get towards it, and you want to use all the outside curb as possible. It really helps for the next corner, if you ask me personally. Now, just missed the inside curb, but it doesn't matter, really. As long as you carry speed, that's all that really matters. Just don't be too hard, obviously. See, look how much outside curb I'm using. If I was any rider, I was probably on this AstroTurf and I would have killed my lap. You need to maximize it. Like, even getting off it. I'm only just getting off it on time before hitting the Astro. Anyway, you want to trail brake about 50% as you see right now. And I preferred going a bit deep in this corner and having a much better exit approach. So like I'm not hugging the inside, so I wouldn't have to put as much steering angle as possible to keep it on the tracks. I could go on the throttle earlier without having as much oversteer. Don't remember how much speed I was aiming for here. I think it was about 74. Yeah, you saw the track. Sorry. And then last part, turning input, I turned just before the 50. I think it's faster if you cut this corner and have two wheels on the curb, which I think I did on this lap. But basically, I'll push out the corner like that. That's what you want to do. But if your car is on the track and you're not touching the curb, you will have to lift, otherwise you'll understeer off. Most cars you won't be able to do this spot, but M60 can just because it's amazing high-speed cornering, one of the best in its class. Only other car that's probably better is the BRZ. Maybe the Renault is decent as well, for an MR car especially. So because I cut it right, I stayed on throttle. Last corner, or last chicane, in my opinion, my most nemesis corner. I have always struggled on this corner just because I've always struggled with the turn-in time. But basically, I am braking. So we've gone past the 150 board. Where I am braking literally directly halfway between the 150 and 100. So I'm braking 125 meters. Now, you want to brake in a straight line? I start to turn in. So as my car has slowed down, I am going to start now turning in. In fact, I've started turning in, but you'll see me lift off the brakes. And you want your right wheels to cut this curb. Now, I believe it won't be track limits until your left wheels is either off the red and right curb or the green Astro. I don't remember. But you won't be looking for about 52 mile an hour apex speed here. I missed that bit. I was about 50, 51 on this particular lap. Try to keep it on the right. You might have a little bit of oversteer, but basically, last part, you can either try to have your right wheels go over the red and right part of the curb, or like I do on this particular lap, I just have my left wheels go over this lighter green. Well, it's darker green. That turquoisey coloured curb bit here. That's not too slippy. But if you go on this Astro bit, very slippy. You don't want to touch it if you can help it, unless you're trying to minimise track distance, which you can. You just have to be careful. So you'll see me be about 60% throttle. Now, because I was a bit deep on the exit, you'll see me initially be 80% throttle, just to not understeer too wide on the exit. But by now, you really want to be 100% throttle if you can help it. Obviously, to finish the lap, hug the inside, just to minimise distance. And rev out third, because by the time you change gear, you basically have the line, so just rev it out. And that's a 157.977. That was the first 157 as of recording. Decent lap. 10 control sensitivity, default ABS I've always used. Decent lap, few temps in it. World record, like I said in the beginning, probably 0.5 area, which means the gold area will be about 201 dead. Anyway, I'm going to show you how you see this lap, the replay of it, and how to get to it, and how to load the rest of it. And I hope you enjoyed. Cheers. To see the replay of the lap I just did, go to Showcase. Well, you could either, I should say, go to Showcase, go to current car if you've got it installed. It has to be the M6 actually, if you spin model, but don't go to current car then, just go to replays, put in my name, or TT, or Lap Time Challenge. It is this one here. with a beautiful picture. It will say my lap times, so you know it's me, because it's my lap time. And I'll probably put the lap time in the description anyway. To get to it and see another replay of mine, well, a different way to see a replay, go to Spawn Made top right. Online time trials. Now it will be the third one, but when this ends, it'll be fully to the right. So go to this one. As you see, I'm first at the moment. Professional world record. Come on. Go to ranking. Load my replay here, and to get a ghost of my lap time. Sorry. Center in whatever car you want, preferably M6 or Lexus or GTR. I think those will be the top 3 cars here. Go to ranking board. Load my ghost. So you can follow me around, and you can play around the ghost settings, reset it after each sector over here, and you can have it starting at a certain amount of time ahead of the start lap, or if you have that on after each sector. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, if this helps, like and sub if you want. I know there's another lap time challenge that's come out, the Porsche one. I'll probably try to do lap time a lot. I probably won't get top 10 there because high downforce cars, faster cars is terrible on pad. This combo on pad is decent. I think we might struggle a bit in the initial start of the lap just because how much steering you need to do in the first part of the lap. But the control's decent here. It's not too bad. You can definitely compete with real anyway. Anyway, hope that helps you get at least a 2:01 there to minute 9. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it helps. Any comments, any questions, you can comment. I'll answer them. And yeah, see you later, guys. Thank you.